630-962-7000. That's 630-962-7000. Make your reservation, bring your friends, and plan your next event at Osho's. Live music, dining, and entertainment, all in one place. Visit oshos.com and join the fun tonight. Supporter of the America's First Responder Fest.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410. Elgin time, 11 o'clock.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Rain-X. A First Amendment group is suing Illinois over a decade's law regulating use of the words Democrat or Republican in organization names. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression says the law violates free speech after a group was denied use of the word Democrat. A Sangamon County judge has sentenced former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson to 20 years in prison for the July 2024 killing of Sonia Massey. Circuit Judge Ryan Cadigan imposed the maximum sentence after a jury convicted Grayson of second-degree murder. Illinois lawmakers are considering a bill to limit what SNAP benefits can be used to buy. Senate Bill 2908, sponsored by State Senator Neil Anderson, would seek federal approval to bar SNAP purchases of candy, sugary drinks, and other highly processed foods. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. A Sangamon County judge has sentenced former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson to 20 years in prison for the July 2024 killing of Sonia Massey. Circuit Judge Ryan Cadigan imposed the maximum sentence after a jury convicted Grayson of second-degree murder. Illinois lawmakers are considering a bill to limit what SNAP benefits can be used to buy. Senate Bill 2908, sponsored by State Senator Neil Anderson, would seek federal approval to bar SNAP purchases of candy, sugary drinks, and other highly processed foods. A First Amendment group is suing Illinois over a decade's law regulating use of the words Democrat or Republican in organization names. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression says the law violates free speech after a group was denied use of the word Democrat. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into writing hours. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Progressive. Today, a winter weather advisory is in effect until 6 p.m. for the listening area. Snow showers and mostly cloudy skies with a high near 18. Tonight, scattered snow showers with a low around 7. Looking ahead to Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 24. Currently, it's 12 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Enjoying a healthy dinner that tastes great means eating out at a pricey restaurant, right? Wrong. Healthy Choice Simply Steamers are delicious and healthy. The tray-and-tray steam technology delivers crisp veggies and tender protein in tasty selections, like Healthy Choice Simply Steamers grilled chicken and broccoli Alfredo. It's a satisfying meal with 28 grams of protein and nothing artificial. Healthy Choice Simply Steamers. What having it all tastes like.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
Welcome, folks, into Out to Lunch here on WRMN, the voice of the Valley and the talk of the town. We're broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, the listeners, the Fox River Valley area. As always, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today and being a part of the conversation with us. You are listening to Out to Lunch. Out to Lunch is sponsored by St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. Get back to doing what you love with expert orthopedic and spine care at St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. They're a proud member of Prime Healthcare, and they're here to keep you moving. So schedule your appointment today by calling 847-931-5525 or visit stjosephelgin.com to learn more. So thank you to them for sponsoring today's show, Out to Lunch. You can also listen to us not just on that AM 1410 dial, but you can also watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/WRMN radio. If you want to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell. You can always keep yourself up to date and in the loop on what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and what's going on here on WRMN AM 1410. I'm going to take you into this hour with a little bit of some fitness stuff. Now, as you know me, I definitely could go to the gym. I used to, back in the day, I used to go, a couple times a week, but things happened and life gets in the way. And then you're like, you try to make the time and you can't. But you can, though. Of course you can. Everyone can make that time, too. So, and if you want to train like a champion, of course, you can step into this really cool place. It's UFC Gym in Lombard. You get the real results, and it meets real intensity, too. This is a way that you can train different. You can join the fight for your best self here at UFC Gym in Lombard. You can visit their website today. And today we've got some fabulous guests here joining us. We have Justin Brown with us here on mic 2. We've got Joshua Streaker on mic 3. And we've got Thomas here on mic 4. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about UFC Gym in Lombard, for those of you who don't know specifically what it is. And you can even give us just a little rundown on how it's even more than just a gym and even your experiences as well, too.
Yeah, I mean, so I run the gym. I'm, the general manager over there. And the cool thing about our gym is that, train different motto right there. So the biggest thing is we do boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, HIIT style classes, cycling classes. So we have it all in one 40,000 square foot gym. Nice. It's inside of Yorktown Mall, so it's a lot bigger than it looks maybe from the outside. But when you go there, it's a family environment. I've got moms with, 5 kids going through and doing the boxing classes. I've got kids over there running around, learning how to box properly while their mom is going through and lifting or working on the treadmill and whatnot. I've also got people with MS, Parkinson's, going through and doing boxing techniques. Studies show that that's hands down some of the best stuff you could do for those issues and whatnot. So, our gym is fantastic, and training different is definitely one of the bigger things over there.
Absolutely. Now, what gets you started into being a part of UFC Gym?
Yeah, so basically I started as a coach in 2016. Actually, my best friend, Angelo, was the general manager over at South Loop location. And we've had over, 10 UFC gyms in the Chicagoland area at one point in time. And now we've got one of the biggest UFC gyms in the Midwest at Lombard, Illinois. So it's a pretty cool spectacle. But I've been fighting for 17 years now at this point in time. I actually traveled down to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and trained with Jackson Wink, with all those people you see in the UFC. Mm-hmm. And then I came back to Chicago because we'll probably get into it at some point in time. But my parents were ill, and so I had to come back to help them out. And I was lucky enough and blessed enough to take over this gym in Lombard.
Nice. I can tell by the way you're talking and everything that you're so passionate about what you do, and especially as a fighter too. And there's a lot that goes into a gym that a lot of people don't realize as well too, and so many different areas that you can improve yourself on too. So that's fantastic. Justin, tell us about your role here with UFC Gym.
All right. Well, I've never been much of a fighter. It's not my forte, but strength training has been my love since I was 16 years old. I was the typical jock in high school. I played football, taught me a lot of things. Actually ended up going to D3 college to play football. Shout out Benedictine. Then my freshman year of college, I got hurt a lot. I was ankles, shoulders, everything you could think of, I had it. And I stepped away from it, and it was a real mind blowing concept that what am I supposed to do with my life now? Mm-hmm. It turned into, I got all this free time. Let's try working out. Let's try that. And I've always been a big guy. Always the biggest in my class, but I was like, let me use this to my strength, literally. Then started working out, started getting dedicated. I was 2-3 hours in the gym at one point. All my friends, I was training them off the record, and I made so much of an impact on their lives. I wanted to do more of that with my life. So, branching off, I did the typical, I was working in gyms, LA Fitness. I was at Planet Fitness before here. And then I got, I like this thing, I'm blessed to be able to come work with Josh. Mm-hmm. And it was just the camaraderie we have in this gym and that we make with our members, it's top tier. I don't think anything ever compares to that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's something to be proud of too, when it comes to that. Let's talk a little bit here too. I wanted to mention just a little bit about when it comes to running a gym, right? So what is something that really kind of is something that you tailor to your, I guess you could say customers, right? What's something that's like really at the foundation of it that you want people to know about?
Well, the coolest thing is the family, the community that we have. I go through and I talk to just about everybody that walks into that gym, and I know them at much more of a level than I would say most gyms know their members.
He makes it a point to talk to them. I've seen him damn near across the gym to talk to someone. I've never met you. That was a big thing with me. That showed me that he really cares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I don't know you, I'm coming up to you, asking, your name, understanding it. And as you come on in, the first day, I don't know if you guys have seen like the memes and stuff on Instagram, but it's like when guys make friends and it's just like, the first one's this. The second one's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's literally how it is at the gym with everybody. I'm sitting there like, hey, what's your name? Then I'm like, where are you from? What are you about? Yeah. Where you been? Mm-hmm. And then it gets to a much crazier level as we have excellent coaches over here, and they get to spend 50 minutes with their clients to an hour with their clients, and now they're going through and learning much more about that client. And now you build a bond for almost a lifetime if really it can get to that point, you know?
Yeah, that's great. You get a lot of different walks of life too. You get to hear people's stories, why they're going to the gym, and it can give you some really cool insights on things maybe you didn't even really expect people to answer much too. So that's pretty cool. And then of course with your expertise when it comes to those MMA roots as well too, I think that's great that you are able to train people who might also want to join within that league as well.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing is like we got a little bit of everything. We don't have to go through and teach the next MMA champion of the world, but we have an incredible facility for it. We have the sauna. We have the cage, the legit octagon cage that you see on pay-per-view for the UFC. It's a spectacle in there. But you know what the craziest thing is everybody's training. And we take you for where you're at. You don't have to be the person that wants to be the UFC champion of the world. You can literally be the mom that wants to go through and just punch some stress out.
Yeah.
You know, the doctor that went through and, you know, had a horrible, you know, day at work today and he just wants to punch the bag.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a crazy cool place.
Absolutely. Now tell us a little bit here too, for someone who has never gone before, what do they expect? Like kind of give us a little gist on like when someone walks into UFC Gym for the first time, what do they see, you know, in the main, you know, foyer area when they walk in, or, you know, are they greeted, that kind of thing? What do people use?
Yeah. So straight out the gate, you know, the first thing is a friendly presence, right? You're greeted with somebody that has a lot of energy and is ready to show you a beautiful place, ready to hopefully change your life for the better. You know, we know how much, you know, health, you know, takes a toll on a lot of us as the years go by. And, you know, we're there to kind of help guide you through this process and whatnot. So you start with, you know, our crew walks you through the gym, gives you a tour and whatnot, introduce you to different members, different people, because once again, the community is the whole thing about our gym. Yeah. It's not just here's our lifting, here's our punching. No, here's our coach, Justin. He's incredible. He's a great guy. And, you know, then we go through and, you know, if you vibe with him, guess who you're going to be working with at some point in time? Coach Justin, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, can we get that, can I get a clip of that so I can use that against them? Next time I get in trouble.
Right? Oh my gosh. I love it. That's
but
great.
even walking through the whole entire gym, as you walk through, you see a beautiful weight facility. You go around, you have the kids area where they're doing jiu-jitsu. We have a full mat section where you're going through and learning jiu-jitsu as adults or kids. Like I said, we have the spin room over there and then going through the cage, right? Everybody gets a foot in there. And even if you're not a fighter, you walk in, you feel kind of cool walking into that cage.
Yeah.
You go upstairs. It's so cool. You go upstairs and then we have a full boxing area. We have the cardio equipment and then walking into our yoga studio. We also offer yoga. And then we have 2 locker rooms with saunas included in it and a recovery room as well. Automatic locks, showers. We have all the bells and whistles. It's a pretty cool place.
Nice. I love it. And you guys are pretty active on the social media side of things. I know there's a UFC Gym that's at the Yorktown. What's that? Yorktown Center? That's what it is?
Yeah, Yorktown Mall.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of cool things that are coming up here too. I see you've got a big competition at the UFC Gym coming up here, kicking off February 23rd. So that's awesome, of course. That's a way for folks out there to crush those goals together. You don't have to do it alone, right? You've got a great staff and team who's here to help you and to make those connections, which is fantastic. So I want to speak with you a little bit here on your experience with UFC Gym and working.
Well, my experience has just started. I'm Tom Tancredi. I am a second-year Friar Novitiate with the Franciscans. And what I've been doing right now is really preparing for Lent, which is my big go time season, right? And this Lent is going to be an extra special one. There's a lot of turmoil in the world. There's a lot of things happening. So I'm making a lot of devotionals as that happens. And I'm getting myself in shape for spiritual warfare. And the best way I'm going to do that right now is working with the folks at UFC Gym, because the fact is, when I think about combat and combat adjacent things, you want to have a right mentality. You want to have the right spiritual and mental framework when you're going to do this. And so I'm going to set myself up perfectly for what I consider my highest holy days. And part of the things that it takes to do that is a lot of preparation and planning. So I'm going to be doing a 7-day fast at the beginning of Lent, and then a 7-day fast at the end of Lent. And all throughout that, I'm going to be working out. And in order to do that, you have to actually calibrate and work with people who understand where you're coming from, meet you where you're at, because it can be pretty scary and pretty intense to try to work out while you're fasting. That's something that's hard to actually find anyone with any good calibration to do, anyone that actually knows how to do it. And even if they know how to do it, have the personality and the perspective of what I'm trying to accomplish. So for people like me and the men and women that are out there who are also going to make this Lent an extra special one, it's one of those things where I've been very fortunate to find people at the UFC Gym to really talk throughout what I need to do, down to dietary, down to prep, down to even getting down to where I'm at right now, where I'm going to be at, talking through all the exercises, because it's important during a fast that you actually do exercise through it. You want to make sure that you have good times for recovery. You also want to make sure that you don't do anything damaging to your joints. So in order to do this, you actually spend a lot of time. And one of the things that I loved working with the guys at the UFC gym, even though we're not there yet into the Lent season, just the preparation alone has got me convinced about these guys, about how they're coming at me with this opportunity, because I didn't know where to start, frankly. It's not something that's my forte. I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor when it comes to this stuff, but these guys are specialists and trained professionals when it comes to making sure that you can hit your goals and actually make sure that you're doing what you want to do and also what you feel like you need to do. And beyond that, not everyone's like me. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm 44, but people don't believe that, but it's true. But there are people like my father who is also going to be celebrating and challenging himself for Lent. He's coming off of chemotherapy. He just got out of rehab, which is intense. And so working with these guys to talk to them about where my father's at, because he wants to participate, and he should be able to participate on his level, on his terms. And he needs guided support and a trusted guide every step of the way to do that. And so when there are people like that are coming out of recovery, that are also coming into the world again, they need to be able to do that with people that understand where they are and meet them where they're at. So I'm pretty excited about that, because we're going to be doing a great regimen. I already know that because I've already done all the prep work with these guys. But I also know that they're going to be helping figure out in a three-dimensional way how, some of the other people I'm bringing to the gym. I got 3 other folks that are coming with me, and they're all at different places. These are people with sciatica. These are people who haven't gone to the gym in years, people who are basically not familiar with what their body can do, haven't really come to terms of where their season of life is, so they still think that they're 25 and able to crush it. Where in reality, we're all a little bit older, we're all a little bit slower, and that maybe, yes, you can crush it still, but obviously let's do it in a safe way where you're not going to feel it tomorrow, in a bad way. And one of the things that I really like about the gym, I know they talked about it, but truly the recovery room is where I think is the gold mine. There's so many ways to hurt yourself. There's so many ways where even when you do a good workout, how do you get back to the shape that you need to be in? Because it's great to do leg day, but you got to be able to walk tomorrow again, that kind of thing. So,
you don't want to overdo it either.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a mistake I made. When I was doing the gym, I was overdoing it too much, and I didn't have the proper guidance to be able to, kind of work more towards what my body would be able to handle. There are certain things like leg presses I could handle really well, surprisingly well. But then there were other things like lifting weights that was a little bit more difficult for me. So all those different things, and I pushed myself too hard. And so if I ever hopefully go back to the gym someday, I can do it in a way that I know exactly what's tailored to my needs from that previous experience of which I was burned out from it.
Name the day, bro. We got you.
That's what I was gonna say.
Name the day.
Welcome.
I'm there 6 days a week almost. We got you.
Well, I got a question for you guys, because that is a good point. Like, how do you guys treat someone who basically, sort of what Matt went through, like got burned a bit and needs to come back, but knows that they need to come back in, but doesn't know how to start? Where do you meet with them on that level?
More or less, I look at every client and I look at it's day one.
Right.
It's day one, and I'm going to treat you the same way I would treat any other client. I treat you with respect, but the other thing is how you said you would overtrain, you would hurt yourself, it would be sore, and people come in that mindset that, oh, I only need to be in here, a couple of days a week for the next 3-4 weeks, and I'm happy. No, that's a common misconception. It takes a while for your body to basically shock itself into the right shape. And especially with Tom, when I had a one-on-one session with him, I showed him things. He's like, oh my God, I never actually worked it like this. And everyone thinks, oh, like how you said, you're good at leg press. That's great. You have one set of muscles knows that very well. But now you're taking away from, you could be working hamstrings really well, but your quads could be suffering. Yeah. So it's more like just like being one-on-one with somebody, I think is very beneficial, because I can see not every fault, but every fault. And people take that as that's why they don't want to come back. It's hard to, it's too hard. It's too much. I don't want to stay there. I don't like this and that. It's sometimes you just got to push through that stuff. And that's what I'm here for. That's what Josh is here for. That's what everyone's there for. We're your biggest supporters.
And that's really important, because like when we were doing our workout, it's really impactful because of the fact that like we didn't rush anything. We took our time with everything. And I have arthritis in my neck and in my shoulder. And I was very clear about that with Justin up front, saying, this is where I'm at. And when he's talking about seeing every fault, I disclosed where I was, but he saw things that I didn't see because I don't look at myself in the mirror all the time. I know there are guys that do, but I'm not measuring myself up all the time. It's just nice to have someone who can look behind you and in front of you at the same time. So when I'm like doing doing things that are new to me, am I doing it with correct posture? Am I doing it with correct precision? Should I be doing 8 times or 12 times? Do I have to go after it? Or should I slow it down? It's so hard to know when you're in the midst of the moment where to go with it. So it's good stuff.
And I will say that, I've been a coach for longer than I've been a general manager for, and I still take clients at the UFC gym to this day. I've got clients that are, 60, 70-year-old grandmas. Their programming is completely different than the 28-year-old guy that wants to get into MMA. Their program is different from the dad that wants to build his upper body. It's so cool to see the different amount of people that we have at our gym. And then our coaches are experts at going through and ramping that programming up to get you to that point where now your workouts are tough, but healthy and good and exactly what you need to go through and maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, it's so important because, I was just thinking about how my father, he's gone through chemo. He's got stage 4 lung. No joke about that kind of diagnosis. But we spent all summer long getting him ready for a trip to Italy. Now, Italy's that's the homeland. You understand? Yeah. That's where he saw his family for the first time in 25 years. Wow. And seeing them, those are people that he the last time he saw them was he took his wife, my mom there, that kind of thing. And so it was a big deal for us to get him into shape to actually go out and do that because we knew, he's going to have to do some chemo coming up. He's getting prep work. We knew that he needed to get in shape to go out and travel for one thing, but he also needed to get in shape because he had a huge medical procedure that was upcoming, and he had to be in the best physical shape that he could be to just meet the moment for that thing as well. You're not just exercising and recovering. You also have to prep yourself a bit, and that's something that I think so many people out there who are dealing with certain, procedures or ailments that they don't think about is that, yes, in order to really get the full benefit of that procedure, of that health and recovery, you got to set yourself up for success too. You actually got to take the time and actually say, I know I got something coming up here. I know my foot's got to get back in shape. I know I'm going to be on crutches. I know I need to be this way, and that way. Let's get into the gym real quick. Let's prep it up for it because everyone thinks about the recovery afterwards. But if you set yourself up for success, you guys taught me this about the whole thing about legs and everything else that comes along with it. How you got to be able to just figure out where you're going to go next. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's important.
And I will speak to this real quick just because I am the MMA guy at the gym. I've been fighting for a long time. The cool thing about our gym is, if your ankle's messed up and whatnot, well, guess what? You can have a pad session with a coach, get a similar workout, and use just your upper body, right? And not have a fear of doing a squat and then your knee gets aggravated and flares up. So there's so many different aspects over at our gym that I think is different than a lot of gyms and train different.
Yeah. I feel like it's also a common misconception. People see UFC gym and they think, oh, it's just MMA, jiu-jitsu and all that. And what I love about ours is we make it a point to almost not even say that just we're a UFC gym. Not a UFC dojo. We're not any of that. We're a gym. We incorporate every aspect of health and fitness.
And that's good, too, because you don't want to, sometimes I guess you could say, you don't want to scare people away who are like, wait, MMA? I don't know if I can do that, but you've got all of those different things. You've got the training and the ability for anyone, really. And it was great, too, as you mentioned, kids, too. So you have kids sections, kids training, things like that as well, which I don't know. I've never really heard too much about that before. So that's cool though.
What do you guys do with kids? That's kind of interesting.
So that's one of the cooler things. I think our gym is one of the cooler gyms as far as kids programs go. I know I did Taekwondo as a kid, and when I did Taekwondo, my parents sat in the seats and watched us. And I would say probably 20% of the parents in our kids programs actually watch their kids. They're lifting, they're walking, they're actually utilizing their time, I think, properly for themselves. And, we have boxing classes for the kids. They're learning how to box properly. We got jiu-jitsu classes for the kids. We have wrestling classes for the kids. And once again, your kids are going through and learning a skill set. They're not just running around playing, not that that's bad, but they're learning a skill set. They're learning discipline. They're learning courage. They're learning to go up and be a leader of the class. They're going through and, going through the trials of grappling and getting submitted in a class and then learning from it, you know? So while you're going through and getting your workout in the exact same time, it's like no other gym as far as kids and families are concerned. So you want to come on out as a family, I think it's the perfect gym for you.
Awesome. It's great for kids too because it builds that physical strength, but also that mental strength and preparation for the future as well. So,
well, and it's like with our gym, a lot of other gyms are like, oh, you can't bring kids in, can't do this, and it's a gym. Like, how much can a gym do with the kids? We incorporate that as one of our strong suits.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We will be back with more here on Out to Lunch, WRMN AM 1410 with the UFC Gym. Stay tuned for that and more here on WRMN.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois lawmakers are considering a bill to limit what SNAP benefits can be used to buy. Senate Bill 2908, sponsored by State Senator Neil Anderson, would seek federal approval to bar SNAP purchases of candy, sugary drinks, and other highly processed foods. A First Amendment group is suing Illinois over a decade's law regulating use of the words Democrat or Republican in organization names. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression says the law violates free speech after a group was denied use of the word Democrat. A Sangamon County judge has sentenced former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson to 20 years in prison for the July 2024 killing of Sonia Massey. Circuit Judge Ryan Cadigan imposed the maximum sentence after a jury convicted Grayson of second-degree murder. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. Starting today, a winter weather advisory is in effect until 6 p.m. for the listening area. Today, snow showers with mostly cloudy skies and a high near 18, with snow accumulation of 1 to 3 inches. Tonight, scattered snow showers and mostly cloudy with a low around 7. Currently 14 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN, the voice of the Valley and the talk of the town. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today and being a part of the conversation with us. We've got some great guests here in studio continuing to talk about what they have to offer here for UFC Gym. Visit their website today at ufcgym.com. Check out their locations for more information. They've got a great lineup and awesome schedule for you, and they can tailor to your needs so you can get into shape. You can train better. You can train UFC today if you'd like, folks. That's ufcgym.com for more info. All right, so let's continue on here. We're going to talk more about, I know, Thomas, you wanted to talk a little bit about, ask them what are some of the different courses that are coming up, events that are coming up for the season.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, everyone knows about, like, the holiday specials and all that good stuff, and I get that. That's, like, exciting. That gets people, like, moving in the cold and winter. But I actually see a lot of people just reactivate their whole exercise regimen really when it gets warmer, right? So, like, springtime, there's a little bit more sun outside. Everyone's feeling a little bit good. They're worried about what their beach wear is going to be like and if they're going to be in, looking good for the beaches. So, like, what do you guys plan and prep for when you think about people like that? People who like saying, "Hey, I'm going down. I got to lose a couple pounds. I'm going to look good for the beach." What do you guys plan for those things? And also, what do you guys do that with kids? How do you guys handle that?
Yeah, so I mean, for our gym in particular, we're doing that 10-week bingo challenge that Matt just kind of showed you guys. I think it's the perfect setup. For me, I'm pretty competitive.
What's the bingo? Explain it to me.
So it's a weight loss challenge, right? It's weight loss, body fat percentage. Like, that's kind of your goal. We're going to go through and put you through the 10-week rigor to go through and see who wins the competition. And in the end, what ends up happening is everybody wins. Right? Because everybody's really trying to hustle for these 10 weeks. So you get a cool bingo card. You get some consultations with some of our coaches and whatnot.
What's the bingo do? Like, is it like I'm betting on whether or not I get a bingo spot if someone loses 10 pounds or something?
No, it's super cool. Everybody's trying to complete the whole entire bingo board. It's kind of like you're getting stamped per the thing that you do, right?
Okay.
So, for instance, some of the things on our bingo boards in the past have been 100 squat jumps.
Okay.
Right. One personal training session with a coach. Do a class.
Right.
All right. And then it could be something as simple as leave a review, right? Mm-hmm. But as soon as you complete this, I think there's about 80 of them. And this isn't the bingo, but it's a great information and tool. Yeah. But basically you go through and you complete the whole entire bingo board.
Yeah.
And then you get entered into win, right? And there's a couple of big opportunities. A year paid in full option champion agreement gets you access to every single UFC gym worldwide. There's a 6-month membership. And basically if you complete the board, you get entered into win 1. If you are the male or female that loses the most weight or loses the most body fat percentage, you will win. So, and then we pick out a hat who wins which prize, and it's a good little motivator for everybody coming off of the holiday break.
No, I'm a guy who always likes to maximize any kind of opportunities or any kind of programs like this. What I like to do is usually get my friends with me and get it so that some of us can, together, like my fantasy football league, will be like, hey, guys, we're going to do this together. We're going to try to win the bingo together here.
That's right.
So, when those kinds of things happen, how do you guys structure, it's not a class, but it's not just like one guy working on it by himself. How do you guys think about that when you guys are meeting guys like me who got 3 or 4 friends that want to come in and do some workouts together?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had it before in the past. When we ran this bingo challenge, like the whole community of the gym is doing their squat jumps together, right?
Oh, nice.
They're trying to complete this bingo board, so everybody's working together 4 or 5 deep and whatnot. Hey, you want to get a fishbowl workout? Like a fishbowl workout, literally you just pick out of a fishbowl and you have to get that completed to go through and get that stamp in particular.
Oh, that's cool.
So everybody's just going through and working together as a community and pushing each other. And you know the craziest thing happens too, like where you're sitting there and you get done with a class, and then that one person sits there and says, hey, you want to finish a couple of the bingo boards?
Right.
And then you're like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it. But guess what? You do it because somebody told you to, you know? So now you're doing your 100 squat jumps, your 50 kettlebell swings, and whatever the bingo board challenge is. You know?
Now, I'm going to do this, and that's for sure. But I'm also going to be doing it with my dad, who's probably not going to be able to pull something out of like a fishbowl. Do you guys like modify some of that stuff? Or how do you think about that?
100%. What we always say, too, is everybody's on their own fitness journey. Yeah. So even if your dad didn't complete the exact version of that, right? Maybe he just does squats instead of squat jumps, right?
Right.
Maybe he just does kettlebell motion swings instead of using a kettlebell actually, you know?
Cool.
So there's so many different modifications for it because everybody, once again, is on their own fitness journey. But I'll tell you this much, when I was fighting for the longest time, when I had that fight 6 weeks away, 10 weeks away, 12 weeks away, guess what? I busted my tail. I kept on working my tail off until I was ready for that fight. And this is the same kind of vibe for this bingo challenge. You have 10 weeks on May 4th. We'll see where you're at.
Are you still fighting, by the way?
Nah, I'm getting too old for that.
Okay. I just double checking. Well, and so like, can kids participate in this bingo challenge, or is it just adults? What do you think?
So kids can, but obviously with the weight loss and like the body fat percentage, it doesn't really matter. You know, I want the kids to have the best experience, and our classes are the best experience by far. The community that you have over there with all the kids running around together, we play a game at the end of everything. All the kids are laughing, giggling, having fun, and guess what? They got friends for a lifetime there.
What's it cost for kids to go to the gym? I mean, is that cheaper than? Is it like how it is at the movie theaters, where basically kids get in for a different price than like an adult gets in, or how's it work with the UFC?
So the coolest thing ever is because kid comes with the family, right?
Right.
So our family memberships are compatible. They are so good. So basically, like to break down kind of the price points and whatnot. I mean, one kid will be $99, a family will be $199.
Whoa, $199 for like an entire family.
That's our special in February.
Yeah, and that's that. I love that deal because being at other gyms, they don't have that. You know, working at other gyms, they always were like, "You guys have a family? Can we do this?" We're like, "No, you got to sign this one up yourself. You did this one." I think that's what sets us apart from everybody else is the family plan.
Well, I love that because there was a neighborhood gym when I was in Lincoln Square, right? It's called Brush Park. I love those guys. Shout out to Brush Park. But they had like a completely segregated experience. Basically, the parents and the kids the parents and the kids were never together. It was one side of the gym was all the adults doing their workout, doing their thing, and on the other side was basically like a daycare. There was no collaboration. There was no combination. Even if it's something where I could just watch my kids learn something new, it gets me inspired too. Because like as a family that trains together, that's kind of amazing, right? I mean, you kind of want to see your son or your daughter just go after it when it comes to learning how to do forward rolls or doing just simple things like discipline and just getting their high kicks in. So it's kind of an awesome idea that you guys are sort of keeping it together, but also keeping it a little bit where everyone can do their own thing and keep it going.
100%.
And $199 for a month, man, geez, that's so cheap because of the fact, like, well, think about that out loud. I mean, you got all this access to the facilities, and on top of it, you basically aren't paying for daycare for that entire hour. I mean, daycare is expensive.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard to schedule.
And we line up our kids' classes too, so it's not even just an hour. So like you'll do the striking program at 5 and then the jiu-jitsu program at 6.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get your workout in for 2 hours, by all means.
I mean, it's so funny because like I bring my kids to Dave & Buster's at Yorktown Mall. Like I love doing that.
Oh my God, my son loves that place.
Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely loves that place.
Yeah, and so it makes so much sense for me because I'm like, oh, I can get an hour and a half with the kids there. You know, the food's pretty good. But now I can actually take them to the gym. Now they got some physical stuff.
Yeah.
Now they're just not like over. That's the problem I have with Dave & Buster's. No knock on them. Love those guys. Is that my kids get overstimulated. They get really overstimulated.
I get overstimulated when I'm in there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly, right? And so they're so tuned up that like I eventually have to take them somewhere. And what I usually do is I take them to that Target in the back of the Yorktown area and just let them walk around a bit. You know, but they're always just like bouncing off the walls. But I love the idea of actually doing a 1-2 thing with this, where basically I take them, get them overstimulated, get them hyped up, and then calm them down, cool them down over by the gym. I think that might be my strategy. I'm going to give it a shot.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. We got some comments here. We've got Dean in the comments. I think it's great that you can not only do it solo, but as a family. But for your child, it also teaches them the right and wrong time to engage. Great approach and program. Yeah. And then we got another comment here from Denny. Does training look different for each sport, or is there a genetic be healthy workout that is best?
Usually, I mean, right at the beginning, we're going to be all basic about every person. You can tell us your preferences or whatever, and we'll adhere to that. But me personally, I like to start everybody off on the same level. Just, if there's certain things I will ask that, such as, do you have experience? Are there any limitations? Do you have a routine already? We'll base it off that, but it's all generally the same structure. So it makes it easier for us, and it makes it better for them because now they're getting a base to start off of.
Right. Yeah, that's important. You got to start off at a base and then work your way from there too.
And the cool thing too, like with coaches and whatnot, is it's a relationship. You have to figure out what you're able to do, and then vice versa. You got to feel comfortable with the trainer too. And I think that's one of the things that we do pretty well over at our gym is we're not on our phones messing around the whole entire time. I'm sure there's horror stories out there when you have a personal trainer and whatnot. All our coaches are engaged, ready to go, and it's a relationship in the end, and you grow together.
And we're very diverse with this. Like everyone's probably seen Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock. Everyone's thinking, all the trainers are going to give me jack. I don't want to be huge, this and that. And it's such a common misconception. Everyone, like, I have my girl is always like, I want to go to the gym, but I don't want to get big like you. And I'm like, girl, I'm still trying to get big. I'm still trying to get that big. But everyone has that mindset that they're like, oh, if I go to the gym and get a trainer, they're just going to work me to the ground. I'm going to be sore. And you're going to be sore. It's a good sore, but we're going to make you into the best person. It's like the good, better, best. You think you're good. We can make you better, but we're going to get you at your best.
Yeah.
Well, and just
do the Bears.
Hell yeah.
You just do the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, bro. Hey.
I love it.
Caleb Williams, baby.
Yeah. Amen. Hey, one thing to talk about a little bit that you just mentioned earlier about the base and the baseline of everything. One thing that I was really impressed with was for my first workout, we actually got onto a machine, this in-body machine, and it basically did a whole scan of your body, right? Down to your skeletal mass, your BMI, which isn't that important, but like still important to know kind of thing. And just really think about where you are on a baseline. So like on a human level, they even got to the point where they could tell because of my arthritis in my left shoulder is lighter than my right shoulder. I mean, it just makes sense, right? And so now that they have that information's key. Now that we have that information, what do you do with it, right? And so getting that lined up correctly is so important. These guys talk often, and you guys do, I love it, about relational stuff. But you guys do a lot of science behind it. You guys do a lot of prep work. I know that for a fact. When you guys, even before I came in, you were coming up with ideas on food, dietary, how to wind things down, how to keep things up. You guys were talking to me about dietary stuff, even though you're not dietary guys. You were talking to me about keto and how to prep for it, how to come back, what it's going to take to get recovery, all that good stuff. So I don't know. I mean, you guys really have a good baseline with this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have our own little specialties too, which is kind of cool as well. Like I'm kettlebell certified.
Right.
I go through and have the MMA side of things. I can teach you boxing, jiu-jitsu, and Justin has his own specialties, and then all my coaches have their own specialties and whatnot. Right. But I will say I agree that InBody is a game changer for sure. It tells you exactly where you're at right now and then where we want to go. And the cool thing is attached to your ID number, which is your cell phone number. And so every single time you go ahead and you use it, you see where it's going. Is your weight going down? Is your body fat percentage going down? And then we revamp the course accordingly with your coach.
Yeah, and like a lot of gyms, everyone's been to those gyms where they have like those handheld ones that just tell you the base, like gives you such a vague detail. With ours, and I've never seen it anywhere, and which is surprising that UFC Gym takes that extra step forward. We tell you, okay, yeah, this is your BMI, this is your skeletal mass, this is how much water retention, this is how much your metabolic rate is when you're sleeping or not doing anything. That just puts right off the bat that when on my first day I did it, I was like, oh, but then my manager was, shout out Dave, he showed me, he goes, listen, don't look at that. Look at the skeletal mass. Look at your metabolic rate. That's what we want you to look at. Don't be, everyone sees, their BMI is this certain percentage. No, we don't worry about that. We're going to get you better with you knowing every detail about what's going on in your body.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things, I was already programming my new, everyone's got their own health app, right? Like some people got Noom. I use the Samsung Health because it's free. I like it. But I was already inputting all my new stats into it because I was like, oh, this is great, And I know like the UFC app is really good for finding classes and actually seeing anything. That's one thing I really enjoy about that app, by the way, just because it's so easy to use. I can like use it and be like, oh, I can pick up a class right now. This is great.
Yeah.
But you got, with everything, the knowledge you're transferring over, it's just what you do with it then. So it's pretty amazing. Out of curiosity, like when you guys, what is a normal gym membership for you guys? Is it like $99 a month? How does it work for you guys?
This is the cool thing. Like everybody thinks like our price point's super high. I mean, we got Title that's, in order to do the same cardio boxing classes, they're about 180, 160 and whatnot. Memberships start at $20 and then work their way up. If you wanted a class, it would be $99 for the classes. All the classes.
Wow. No restrictions.
You have access to the champion membership, which then gets you access to every single UFC gym, and there's 4 here in Chicagoland area. So Wrigleyville, which is a gigantic one right across from Cubs Stadium, Naperville, and Morgan Park as well. So that champion membership is $139. I mean, these memberships are reasonable, and it's because we have a huge space and room for a lot of people.
Now you guys got that sauna too, right? And is that co-ed, or is that men and women divided?
Yeah, the sauna is going to be one in the men's, one in the women's.
Gotcha.
Right? So
you
can, and it's right there for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Private.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's nice. And then do you have like a pool as well too, or jacuzzi, anything like that?
I wish. There's like this
a sauna's good though too.
There's this funny plan that I saw. It was like the pre-plan for this place, and there was going to be a pool where the jiu-jitsu room is at, and then like the city just like shut that down. They were like, "You can't do that."
But what they do have is like this really great recovery room where they have these pads that you put on your thighs and your legs, and it just basically rolls you out almost automatically. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's like compression socks, but only for your legs.
Oh, those are game changers, man. And not a lot of gyms have those.
What are those? Can you tell me more?
So Normatec boots, right? Yeah. So basically what they do is they compress from furthest to closest. So they push the bad blood back to your heart, and so the good blood can go back into your limbs and areas. Freshly nutrient oriented, right? So now it's going through and giving the injured tissue or whatever the best possible chance to recover as quickly as it can.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like I went to my chiropractor the other day, and she was like, "You should do cupping," and I was like, "That sounds horrible. I don't want an octopus attached to my back." Or anything like that. But this sounds like, it's a little bit more scientific, where you basically like pushing things in and out. We're not like just going to put suction cups on you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the old staple: rise, raise, elevate, compress, or whatever.
Yep.
So this is the compression component to it, right?
Yeah.
So, and it works like a charm because it starts from furthest and then it works its way close.
Well, when you say it works like a charm, like how effective is it for your recovery?
The biggest thing I can tell you is personal experience, right?
Yes.
So I tore my MCL fighting training and whatnot. I had a sponsor down in Albuquerque, and I did cryotherapy over there, and then I did those leg compressions.
Okay.
And I kid you not, what was supposed to be 6 months, I got back in 4 months competing in a boxing event.
Nice.
So for me, that's a game changer. And honestly, come on in, try it. Try it for yourself. Try it after a workout. Try it after you're sore. You're gonna feel a difference for sure.
Now, you don't do it by yourself though. You get like a professional like you guys come in, and you guys set it up with them, right? And that's when it comes to all this equipment stuff. I mean, it's pretty impactful, but it's also like if I was just doing it off the street, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I don't want to hurt myself and just squeeze myself like a.
They can be intimidated because they cover up your entire leg. Everyone's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, I promise, I'll put it on for you. We got you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, I told you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And then it's not even that. It's also, we have those, and we have our hydro bed, that's my, oh my God, I could take a nap in that thing.
What's that?
So a hydro bed it's water pressure. It's where you lay down in a bed, not a bed. It's more of like a reclined back chair, and it's water pressure. It's like doing a foam roller to your entire back, to your legs, to your calves. Man, that is like especially after a leg day.
Right.
It's like the foam roller is great. It does get in there, but that hydro bed, you can set the pressure. And I'm crazy. I go 10. I gotta get that full feeling.
Right.
But it loosens up the just all the access and the strain of everything. It will make your 2 days sore or your 3 days being sore in your legs to a day or two tops.
Wow. It's so interesting how you talk about it, because you never really think about those kinds of techniques really getting back in the gym like that. For me, I've always thought, I can only do 2 to 3 days at the gym because I know I know myself. I know I'm going to be sore the next day. I can't go at it hard again. But it's really nice to hear how you guys talk about this stuff. Because not only that, but like when I go into the weekends, right, it's one of those things where I'm not working at the gym. I'm not doing anything else, and I could just let myself go for a little bit. But like, if I actually knew that I can get back into it the next day or the day afterwards, I probably would come out more often. Honestly, like, why wouldn't I? Because that's the problem with soreness.
We'll get you there, Tom. We'll get you there.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Soon enough.
Now, for folks out there who might be interested in being like a personal trainer, how do they go about if they want to train at UFC Gym?
So they want to become a coach, or they want to go through and work with a trainer?
They want to become a coach.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the first thing is you got to get a certificate, and have experience. Those two things together, they build an incredible training.
And it's and believe me, for the longest time, it's mine. It kind of like mind blew me about, I got to get certified. I have to do this. I have to dedicate so much time. Some of them, like the ISSA, took 4 weeks, and I was able to be certified again. A lot of people think that's too much learning. It's so basic. It's mind-bogglingly basic, and it's like stuff I thought I already knew so much about. They teach you in different ways, and back in my younger days, back in my day, I would train my friends, and they'd get good results, and I'd just think, oh, I got this. But then when you actually go in and become a coach, it shows you a whole different side that you could be. I could have hurt these people when I was younger, but now I'm all about them, being at the best they possibly can be.
And I will say, it never stops, right? Like, I got my kettlebell certification. I went to school, was an athletic trainer, got my bachelor's at Lewis University. Shout out Lewis University. Yeah.
Flyers.
Right? Flyers. But yeah, it never stops. So if you ever want to be a coach, obviously find somebody, have a mentor, somebody that can guide you, somebody that can help you out, but definitely grab that certificate and go from there and never stop.
It's so interesting. You guys keep track of who's certified and who's not, so that you can figure out who to pair people up with.
100%. Yep. All our sales managers, they know like which coach would be the best fit for you, inevitably, based upon their credentials and whatnot.
Yeah. And some of us have more specialties than others, like how he's more MMA and jiu-jitsu and all that. I'm more of dumbbells and cables. Like, I've worked with you. I told you, I was like, we're not going to have you benching 300 pounds and kill yourself like that way. We're going to have you more. We're going to have you more cardio based, like a hit style without the actual hit.
And then we have coaches that are firefighters.
Yes.
Who our firefighters go through and work with. Paul Chamora, who's one of our master trainers. He's been doing it forever.
Guy's a beast.
So like, he gets paired with them, and I mean, honestly, to we haven't talked about this, but first responders get a huge discount over at UFC Gym. Just thankful for everything that you guys do for us. Obviously, you can work with Paul too, and like kind of amp up your training as well. So
you were mentioning that. What do you do for the first responders? Because this WRMN does a lot with first responders, as you know, Matt. So like, what do you guys do? Because this is all mission aligned in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's the perfect fit too, because of the personality. To be honest, right? Like a little UFC Gym vibe. Punching some stuff and going through and lifting and working on your health. Right? It just improves your performance in the job. Inevitably. So honestly, the first year is on us.
Oh, whoa! For an entire person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
first year's on us, and then obviously just a big thank you for everything you've done.
And that's for like police officers and
firefighters. Right now, we're gonna open it up to more, as long as more want to do it. You know, I mean, in them.
I'll tell you something, man. I think what would be perfect, because I know a guy right now. This guy is an EMT. And I think of him as an angel on wheels, honestly, because these guys are on.
They see it
all. They see it all the time. They go to the campuses. They go to the college dorms. They go to the nursing homes. And these guys don't know what they're encountering. Sometimes they're encountering rough and rowdy. Sometimes they're encountering people that need to be brought back to life. I mean, these guys are just all over the place. And I don't just mean guys. I mean guys and gals, of course. So it's one of those things where EMTs, in my mind, they're just the angels on wheels. They're just I could totally see those guys and gals having a really good time working out with you guys about this.
Well, and what I like about what Josh said about, with the memberships, I get it. It's like, we're here to help them be better physically. It's also a mental thing. Right. I call the gym my happy place. And if we can help you be physically active and have your mental health improve, that's a win-win. Who wouldn't want that?
Absolutely. Well, this has been a fantastic interview. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. And, folks, you can check out more information. That is at ufcgym.com. If you go to /locations, you can find them there. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us today here on Out to Lunch. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Of course. Absolutely. Folks, stay tuned for more. Up next, we have the life experiences with William Pillarinos. He'll be talking about some crime stats and more. Stay tuned for that here on WRMN, the voice of the Valley, and the talk of the town. And we'll be back with more in just a bit.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to.